you're interested, beloved, especially you dear folks who are getting along in years. I appreciate your confidence in us, and we want you to know that our staff does take every prayer request to heart. And I would like to do it personally, but much of the time I'm on the road traveling, and I don't get all of the mail. I don't read all of the mail, but we have a staff that does, and we want you to continue to send in your prayer requests. We're especially concerned about some of you younger married couples who've been writing in telling us about your marital problem. We appreciate your confidence in us. There's some problems we cannot untangle. People who have been divorced and remarried, they write in and ask for help. Well, beloved, I can't do anything about that. I mean, you have a situation there that I cannot untangle for you. But we can give you some encouragement from the Scriptures. So do not hesitate to write, and we'll be delighted to help whenever and wherever we can. Now, Genesis chapter 22, we were at verse 5. We began our study with verse 1 of this amazing chapter, and we learned from that first verse that this was a test, not a temptation to become involved in moral evil, but God did test Abraham. And we learned that from Hebrews chapter 11, verses 17, 18, and 19. By faith Abraham, when he was tried. We also learned that this is the first mention of human sacrifice in the Bible. God said, "Take now thy son, thine only Isaac, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering." God is telling Abraham to actually put Isaac to death. Now, you must keep in mind that Isaac here is a type of Christ, and that while it was a man who introduced sin into the human race, and that man was Adam, so a man must die for the sins of the world. No beast can be offered as a blood sacrifice. It has to be a man. And so Isaac here is a type of the Lord Jesus Christ. We learned in verse 3 that Abraham obeyed immediately, implicitly, without any hesitation, without any reservation, without asking any questions. He simply did what God told him to do. Now that long journey, and it was 3 days and 3 nights on the road, that long journey must have been a heavy burden for Abraham. He never shared with Isaac what they were going to do. He simply told Isaac to go with him, and Isaac obeyed. And then we read in verse 5 that Abraham said unto the young men, "Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you." Now, when we left off our study at verse 5, I asked the question, how old do you think Isaac was? Now, there are those who believe that Isaac was a boy in his early teens. As a matter of fact, the oldest that I have read in most of the commentaries is that he was not more than 18 years of age. I believe that Isaac was possibly 33 years of age. And I will tell you why I believe that. First of all, he is a type of Christ. And secondly, if you will look at chapter 23, we are told that Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah, 127. How old was Sarah when Isaac was born? She was 90 years of age. All right, 90 from 127 equals 37. And so I believe that you have possibly 4 years here at the end of chapter 22. There's a few incidents mentioned there after this incident with Isaac. And I have no